Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be the reading for February 2024. Of course, you can watch it at any time that you feel like it or when it comes to you. So, I was planning on doing your reading today, and I got an interesting energy today. I was running some errands and I had to pick up some things at a food market earlier. But before that, since I had an early day, I like to go to the cafe or a cafe slash bookstore to knit, and that's what I did. It was in a shopping center, and uh, it was near another building that had the levels of parking, and at the very top was a superstore. So I parked ground floor that day because the food market that I was going to was in a plaza next to the shopping center. And on the ground level, there is a little area escalators where the escalators are, and there were the Girl Scouts there. They are selling their Girl Scout cookies, and I was just in a mood where I was like avoiding them, and it almost felt a little wrong because you do like to support them when you buy the cookies, but for one reason or another, I didn't get the cookies. So I was either going to pass them and not buy the cookies, or avoid them by going up the escalator or elevator. So I went up the escalator, even though I was on ground floor, went through the parking lot on a different level, got uh went down the stairs, around the building just to get to my car that was less than 5 minutes away on ground level. Instead, I took like a 10-minute detour to get to my car. So that's the energy that I feel like I'm getting today for the Scorpios. And it was a timing thing too, because I did want to go to this food market sooner rather than later because I wanted to get home. It's my early day and get some things done and relax, do my hobbies that I enjoy. And something was, it felt like I needed to take my time or wait. So that's another thing of avoiding. And also, it could be because the universe, or if you believe in that, the right timing on when something is supposed to happen or come into your life. So, a little bit of my day. I have three decks for this video. The first one is the Slavic Legends Tarot. Then the Power of the Runes. And if you've been on my channel, you may have seen this deck because I've used it for the readings when I started doing readings on this channel. And it's the Healing with the Fairies Oracle. So I'll pull out the cards and I don't turn them over until I pull out all the cards. I'm getting the icons that stand out to me at the bottom of my screen, the microphone and the Wi-Fi. And it's almost as if there is a forced block, as if it's not the right time, but to be patient. This could be further out because another thing that's standing out to me right now is random too, and it's a pen from work. So this is one of the pens that companies give to you, so you have their information on how to go on their website or get the services. So this is Pharmacist Mutual or phmic.com. And with this, it is a little bit of a stretch, but it reminds me of two things. Hours, like if you're a pharmacist intern, there's a lot of hours that go along with getting being able to go further into that career. And then also PBMs, the pharmacy benefits manager, that set the prices for the medications and the services. So, and each plan is different, but I feel like that could also be a blockage too. There might be a time constraint because something else is important to look into or to focus on aside from what you would like to focus on. The more enjoyable things in life. And of course, you could work and enjoy the job that you do, but there's also other things that just affect us in different ways, make us touch us in different ways, like relationships or things that are important to us that isn't kind of affected by how you get paid or the title that you have, even though there's way more to a person than what they went to school for, or again, there's like a job title. This feels long term of this energy that's coming in, of course, it's for a larger audience. Because for the hopes or fears, you have the Six of Coins. And the Six of Coins, it is an offer, but it isn't something that is as immense, or it's not as it's not that it's not a solid offer, but you can traditionally see this card as giving as little, or maybe choosing where you put your money or your services to. This could also be asking for help. There might be a point in time where a person, it's either you or the other person, that breaks the silence or the ego and really caves in to fix what has been put on hold. And ego isn't necessarily terrible, because I think it's a part of our character, and in some cases, it's part of our armor that we use. And although it's good to be vulnerable, sometimes you just need to be careful, because life isn't as kind as we would want it to be. And it doesn't mean to mess with your own moral compass. But if you could avoid the confrontation or avoid the conflict, sometimes it's in our best interest, and for others too. And then the further future is the Four of Cups. This feels like it has a lingering energy. It's not a lot right now, but it might be more in the future. With the Four of Cups, sometimes the opportunities or what life gives us aren't necessarily what we have envisioned or hoped for. But it doesn't mean what we want is completely lost. It just means there's other ways of getting there. Maybe there's sometimes there might be shortcuts, but a lot of times the fulfilling roads are the ones that are hard to get through, past the bramble. Sometimes different forms of transportation, like getting your degree, there's different ways of getting it, how many years that you dedicate your time towards. The types of degrees that you can get is a strong focus for that. Some people might be in school, some people might be in something that's vocational. Um, there's a strong focus with putting your focus towards setting your life up so that maybe it's not as tedious as it is right now. Because with the Four of Cups, with the things that you need to do, are they your favorite things to do? No. A lot of times we don't want to do them. but it's for your benefit. And the card that I got to go with it is the Star card. Just a really telling one because clearly there is no excitement in the person's expression on the opportunity that comes up or the thing that is given to us from the divine that maybe we asked for. We didn't ask how we were going to get it, how we were going to do it. And then you look at it and you're like, oh, you want me to do that? It looks like you're getting your ducks in a row. The karmic card is the Emperor card. There's so many roots here. It looks like this is something that is a lot more solid than what it feels like right now. It could be the starting energy. And that's why you're like, it's going to be a long road, isn't it? And even with your underlying energy, you have the Devil card. And it does feel like being stuck in this. There could also be a stubbornness, too, of not accepting the Four of Cups. Sometimes with the Six of Coins, it might be having help, but we don't want help because if we could do it ourselves, even though it might be something that makes it 10 times harder to do when we don't delegate responsibilities, but we can do it ourselves. It is the path that we choose, and that might take longer too. With the ram head, it looks like not wanting to move from that position. There's something classic about this, almost old school, with the Nine of Cups and the pearls. A little bit old-fashioned of doing things the old-fashioned way. And maybe wanting to support yourself and others. But it does feel like some things are unexplained with the Eight of Swords in your environment. Because maybe you have these intentions with the Nine of Cups. You think that this is going to be great. Maybe some have taken a job opportunity, something that you feel will benefit you in the long run or people in the long run, but it isn't, it doesn't come across as that. In fact, it might come across as something that you did for your own benefit, and it might just be for your own benefit, but the whole idea wasn't explained. There might be an incentive of why you're doing these things, and this kind of feels like it's out of the blue too. Because you had the Ten of Cups in the past position. And it looks like all these cups to be happy about, to be grateful for. But then there's this, and then the Nine of Cups in the present, when you're going back, were there cups lost? Because the overall energy is the Five of Cups. So you are working backwards in that. And then in the further future, it's the Four of Cups. Another extra card is the Eight of Cups. It's working backwards, which is interesting. Overall energy is the Five of Cups, where you're kind of thinking maybe you didn't make the right choice, or the other person didn't make the right choice because it seems like you keep losing cups. With the Ten of Cups, sorry, I have my cards on the keyboard. Hopefully, I got that on video. I was saying that hope maybe you're thinking, or the other person's thinking, did I make the right decision? Because as you get further into this reading, you're losing all these cups because you start off in the past position with the Ten of Cups, the present with Nine of Cups. You're like, okay. The overall energy, the Five of Cups, so that's half your cups gone. Then another energy card is the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups. Maybe you're trying to choose differently this time. And then the further future is the Four of Cups. So this might be needing to we rework the plan, and maybe with the Eight of Swords there was something that wasn't taken into consideration, maybe by what other people were saying. And this might not be out of malice, and this also might be not putting it out there. Maybe somebody didn't say how many cups they lost, and the other person's just like confused about this other person's behavior of why they're getting more and more, they're acting more and more different than what they would normally do. It just doesn't make sense to them. And this is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups kind of feels like cautious because so many cups have gone. So how many cups can be lost at this point? Other cards, the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords might have been an impulsive type of energy, or an energy that quickly switched its course. One minute it was like this, like the Ten of Cups. And then once it started choosing what cups to focus on and prioritize, and maybe realizing that these aren't the cups that I'm supposed to be focusing on. Or maybe if it has to do with somebody else, needing to tell the other person about the choices that the person has made, if it's either you or the other person, on why you have made these decisions. It's interesting in the mind position. It's the Three of Wands. So, what is it now that you're waiting for? Just interesting. The Three of Swords. I feel like there's a decision, and that kind of led to the double card too of being stuck. And another way with the Eight of Swords, not knowing how to tell the other person, I lost all these cups that we valued and cherished and we loved. How do you say that to the person? It doesn't, and you don't say it like that, like, oh yeah, I lost my cups. But it's like everything that was like really important to us, I took a gamble on it, and now it is not good. It doesn't feel like it's good. And then you got the Three of Swords. Like, just wait, the anticipation. Maybe that's why you're not saying it to the other person that is left wondering what is going on. Because they're kind of like left out of this whole ordeal. And the Three of Swords is like, she's gonna hate me when I say this to her. And I'm like thinking, you never know, because if you tell her and then she's your answer to these things that you've lost and tried to fix yourself, and then hopefully it isn't too far into the situation, because the immediate future is the Page of Swords that's starting to open the communication before it was blocked off. Another air card that we have that has to do with the communication with the sword suit, with the Eight of Swords, which is why it feels like it's blocked, because she's literally blindfolded and tied up, and even the antlers that she has that can represent messages, it's all over the place. Um, her thoughts might be going all over the place because she doesn't know where to pinpoint it. It just feels like with the Knight of Swords, he's like, I can fix this, I can fix this. I'm like, fucking clearly not. Do you see what's going on here? Two of Swords feels blocked. And it could also be divine intervention with the angel on the card, too. The angel has the eyes closed, and it looks like the angel is calm at this time because things need to work its way before really turning into something that is good. Because I feel like with you or this other person kind of dug themselves a hole for this situation where it might be hard to come out of at this point, because it could be in a way where you waited so long, and it might have to do with like finances or getting out of some situation that it it's pretty it built up. It's pretty hard too. So I feel like the past or the people or person that this affected, they mean a lot to this person. It reverts a lot back to the past. And with the Six of Cups, Six of Cups is one of the purest cards that I see in this in tarot, where it's you look back at your past, and it could be fond memories. Sometimes it's family, sometimes it's um people that maybe not necessarily family that really affected you in some type of way. There's a kindness and pureness, especially when we look back on our memories and think, wow, remember when this happened? Or I remember when we did this, or when I was in this connection, and there is a sweetness to it that maybe it's like something you think about it when you wake up and you think about it when you fall asleep. It does feel a little more constant with the Six of Cups, kind of thinking about the good times, because the good times in the past position with the Ten of Cups, that's a really good card to have. And to have it in the past and then working your way backwards, It's not very good. You have the moon card. I am getting a little bit of deception too, because when you're not saying anything, and one can only imagine what's going on or thinking, and you have um the dog and the wolf here, and it kind of feels like hunting cards too. Like the other person, I feel like we'll find out one way or another if they didn't already. And would you rather have it coming out of the horse's mouth, or is that the saying? Or have them find out and they're just like, why didn't you tell me? We could have had this fixed by now. The Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands. Um, Honestly, it might come out of nowhere where this is brought up too. And so the final card for these is the Queen of Wands. Since there is the figure in the Eight of Swords, I'm feeling like and in the Three of Wands, this is that person that is in anticipation or waiting. And the waiting card could also have been the person just holding off and not saying anything because they felt like if they say something of how much the situation got out of hand, then they're like, well, she's gonna hate me for it. And it kind of makes you think like maybe they would be more forgiving if you told them sooner rather than waiting so far along the line, or what was it? Waiting longer, and just it might come to a point where it was like waiting so long, like it was just long. The person might care, and the person might care, and then say, so much time has passed, and I waited and waited, and it was a long time for waiting, and then now you're coming in much later, and there's a lot of feelings that built up, not just the feelings towards the beginning. Now it's like there's a lot of there's a lot of a list of things now there that wasn't there before, of why they won't be talking or why they will be talking. So I said the final card, but there is the Lover's card. And that's really nice. Because after everything, it kind of feels like maybe they were like your ride or die or something along those lines. And being able to keep up with that, which I feel like is really important for like a Scorpio, depending like where it is in your chart, that having those deep connections and being able to love and trust them surface level and deeply too. Surface level meaning maybe just since it came out like that, the surface level, maybe things that aren't as deep, Because sometimes with Scorpios, or a lot of times with Scorpios, they go into the depths, like in the moon card, and it just, there's like an everydayness where you find the love in this connection too. So we'll see where the connection goes. But I would say go with the time, and also if you feel that it might be the right time, then it's the right time. But if you notice that there is a push and pull, like with the water, then maybe there's something to rework or consider. It's an interesting rune to pull out, because it does kind of feel like there's the light at the end of the tunnel with this. Sometimes you just gotta trust the process. And it can be difficult to do that, especially if it's not going according to plan. And maybe you're risking all these cups to get something so much more worthwhile. It's as if you invest in something, in items around your house that are okay quality, that are less expensive. Sometimes like the price difference isn't that much of a difference, but then you invest in something that is more expensive, but it is better quality, it lasts longer, something that is more life term, long term. I said life term, so this could be a life term thing that you're working towards. So after all that, even if there is the feelings of things not going as well as somebody would have thought, it's actually going better. And things are happening the way that they're meant to happen. And I'll just pull out an oracle card. I'll read two since I saw two. So the first one is inner child, and then there is the detox card. Card meaning Just as you take care of small children by listening to them, playing with them, and hugging them, so does your inner child yearn for nurturing. This card also asks you to have patience with yourself as you are growing and maturing in your own pace. If you're feeling neglected or unappreciated, it's most likely reason that you've been ignoring your inner child's needs. Just as any child, your inner child needs daily care and attention. This includes giving her consistently positive feedback. Take a moment to hug yourself right now and tell yourself, mentally or aloud, I love you. You are a wonderful and perfect child of God. Take some time today to play. Your playfulness could be as organized as going to an amusement park or playground, or as spontaneous as telling silly jokes with a friend. Your new daily habit of taking care of the kid within helps you feel youthful and vigorous and will ultimately make you more productive. You will be filled with fresh new ideas, and your friends will soon be telling you how young and refreshed you look. I invest in myself by taking regular time to let go, play, and have fun. And then the detox card. You're being guided to clean your body, environment, mind, and heart of toxins. God and the fairies will help you with this endeavor. It's time to let go of toxins within and around you. This card validates your inner guidance that has been telling you to let go of harmful habits. Go outside in nature and call upon the fairies to surround you. Ask God and the fairies to help you release toxins from your mind, body, and heart. Ask them to help you release your cravings for harmful habits. You'll soon find yourself naturally desiring organic, fresh food and produce. You'll be guided to read the ingredient labels of all food, beverages, and toiletry items and only want to use natural products. You'll be guided away from the environmental toxins. And most important, your thoughts and emotions will veer away from judgment and fear and will become love-based instead. Affirmation: I take excellent care of my body and I crave only helpful foods and beverages. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.